The summer sun shimmered over my private ranch, its crown jewel, a crystal-clear lake, lying in the middle of the property. My daughter Lily was out on her paddleboard, laughing with our golden retriever splashing beside her. It was her favorite way to spend a weekend morning. The peace didn't last long. From the direction of the gravel road, a silver SUV pulled up with that all-too-familiar screech of brakes. Out stepped Karen Matthews, blonde bob cut, oversized sunglasses, and an expression that could sour milk. She was the self-appointed queen of the HOA that bordered the far end of my ranch. Technically, her neighborhood didn't have any rights to my land, but she liked to think otherwise. "Excuse me," she barked, marching toward my dock. "Your daughter is trespassing on HOA property. That lake is for residents only." I sighed. We'd had this conversation before, more than once. "Karen," I said evenly, "this is my lake. The deed is in my name. You don't own a drop of it." She scoffed. "That's not what the HOA charter says." "The HOA charter doesn't apply here," I reminded her. "This ranch is outside your jurisdiction." Karen crossed her arms. "We'll see about that. I'm calling the police to have her removed." I almost laughed. "Go ahead." She whipped out her phone, muttering into it dramatically, describing the trespass as if Lily were committing a federal crime. I could practically hear her rehearsing her story for the HOA newsletter. 10 minutes later, 2 patrol cars rolled up the driveway. Karen straightened like she was about to be crowned queen of the subdivision. The first officer stepped out, scanning the property. Then his eyes landed on me. "Morning, Sheriff," he greeted, his tone respectful. Karen froze. "Sheriff?" "What, Sheriff?" The officer gestured toward me. "This is Sheriff Daniel Reed, ma'am. This is his property." Karen's face drained of color. You're the sheriff?" "Last I checked," I said, smiling thinly. "And this is my daughter enjoying our lake on our land, which means your call was a waste of county resources." The officers exchanged glances. "We'll file this as unfounded," one said. Karen stammered. "But the HOA has no authority here," I finished for her. "And if you keep filing false reports, I might be the one knocking on your door in uniform." Karen's lips tightened, but she spun on her heel and marched back to her SUV, muttering something about rules and respect. I watched her drive away, but I knew this wasn't over. Karen wasn't the type to admit defeat. For about a week after the lake incident, things were quiet. Too quiet. I knew Karen wasn't the kind of person to lick her wounds and move on. She was the kind who would simmer until she found a new angle to attack. Sure enough, on Saturday morning, I spotted her SUV creeping along the property line again. She had binoculars this time, like some suburban spy. Lily noticed her too and muttered, "She's so weird, Dad." I just smiled. "Ignore her. She's looking for trouble, not fish." But ignoring Karen only encouraged her. That afternoon, my deputy Ryan called me from the station. "Sheriff, you might want to know. Karen Matthews just came in to file an official nuisance complaint against you." I sighed. "What now?" Ryan chuckled. "She says your daughter is operating a commercial boating service without a permit." I actually laughed. "Lily has a paddleboard and a dog." "Yeah, I know. But she's got pictures and claims Lily is renting out the lake to other kids." This was typical Karen, twisting harmless scenes into a crime drama in her head. Still, I had to address it officially, if only to shut her down in writing. Later that day, I stopped by the HOA clubhouse, where I knew she'd be hosting one of her community improvement meetings. The room went silent when I walked in, my badge visible on my belt. Karen put on a fake smile. "Sheriff Reed, to what do we owe the pleasure?" "I heard you filed a nuisance complaint," I said calmly. "So I'm here to make sure you understand, again, that the lake is private ranch property, and you have no jurisdiction." Her eyes narrowed. "I have the right to protect our community from outsiders." I couldn't help but chuckle. "Your community stops at that fence line. You cross it without my permission, you'll be the outsider." A few HOA members snickered. Karen shot them a glare sharp enough to cut glass. "This isn't over," she hissed. "I didn't think it was," I replied. "But next time you waste police time, you might find yourself charged with filing a false report." She didn't answer, but I could see the wheels turning in her head. Karen wasn't going to back down. In her mind, she was fighting for some grand cause. In reality, she was just poking a bear. and sooner or later the bear bites back. When I left the clubhouse, I had the uneasy feeling her next move was going to be bigger and louder. By midweek, Karen had gone full campaign mode. It started with flyers, dozens of them, printed in bold red letters. "Keep our lake safe. Stop trespassers." Underneath was a blurry, zoomed-in photo of Lily on her paddleboard, looking as harmless as a kid could. But with Karen's captions, it read like a crime scene. She stuffed them in every mailbox in her subdivision. By Friday, she'd taken it online, posting in the neighborhood Facebook group. "Certain individuals are exploiting our lake without paying HOA dues. This is dangerous, unfair, and illegal. Demand action." The comments section was split. Some residents ate it up, demanding enforcement. Others pointed out that my property wasn't under HOA control and that Karen should mind her own business. Still, it was clear she was trying to build numbers before making her next move. On Saturday morning, I was working on my truck when I heard voices near the fence line. I walked over and found Karen leading a group of about 15 HOA residents. Clipboards in hand, she waved toward the lake. "There's the problem right there. Kids playing unsupervised, boats without registration." Lily was in the water with her dog, laughing. I stepped up to the fence. "Morning," I said evenly. "Is there a reason you've brought a field trip to my property?" Karen lifted her chin. "We're collecting evidence for a formal complaint to the county. When enough residents speak up, they'll have to act." I grinned. "You mean you're organizing a trespass party?" Some of her followers shifted uncomfortably. A few even stepped back. Karen noticed, but kept her smile frozen. "You can't hide behind your badge forever, Sheriff." "That badge," I said, pointing to it, "is the reason I know the law better than you. And the law says you're trespassing." She laughed. "Oh, please. We're still on HOA land." I pointed to the clearly marked boundary post beside her. "No, you're not. And I've got security cameras to prove it." A man in the group cleared his throat. "Karen, maybe we should just—" She shot him a glare. "We're staying." I leaned against the fence, calm as can be. "Stay all you want. Just know that once you step over that line again, you'll be talking to me in my office, guess not at the fence." That got through. One by one, the group began to leave, muttering excuses. Karen stood there alone, seething. I knew she wouldn't quit. But I also knew the next time she pushed, she'd push hard. And that's when I'd push back harder. 2 weeks later, Karen finally made her big play. It was a warm Sunday afternoon, and Lily was down at the lake with a couple of her friends from school. I was up at the barn repairing a fence post when I noticed movement down by the water. At first, I thought it was just the kids, until I saw the uniforms. 3 police cruisers had pulled onto the access road by the lake. Karen was there, too, wearing a wide-brimmed sun hat like she was attending a victory parade. By the time I got down there, the officers were standing awkwardly while Karen pointed toward the kids. "There! Those are the trespassers! Remove them immediately before someone drowns or spreads contamination to our lake." I stepped in between them and the water. "Afternoon, gentlemen," I said evenly. "Something I can help you with?" One officer, clearly uncomfortable, said, "We got a call from Ms. Matthews here claiming these kids were on HOA property without permission." I could feel my jaw tightening. "You boys know this lake is part of my ranch, right?" They exchanged glances. "Yeah, we figured as much," but she insisted we respond. Karen's smile faltered. "What do you mean you figured?" "This is HOA land." I pulled a folder from under my arm. "The official property. Map from the county recorder's office." "No, it's my land." "And you've now wasted county resources for the 3rd time this month." Her face flushed. "I'm just doing my civic duty." I cut her off. "No, you're harassing my family. And as of right now, I'm opening an investigation into you for filing false reports and trespassing." The officers stepped back, clearly realizing this was about to get official. Karen sputtered. "You can't!" "I'm the sheriff," I said firmly. "I can, and I will." She tried to retreat toward her SUV, but I called after her. "Karen, this ends now. You so much as step foot past that boundary again, I'll be serving you papers myself." "We clear?" She froze, then muttered something under her breath and got in her car. The officers apologized and left. Lily paddled up to the dock, grinning. "Guess she's not coming back for a while, huh?" I smiled. "Not unless she wants to spend the afternoon in the back of my cruiser." That evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, the lake was quiet again. For now, the war was over. But I kept the property map on my desk, just in case Queen Karen decided to make another royal visit.